Okay, hi, this is Scott Hernan. We're going to talk today about House Bill 525. The reason it's on our radar is because there's probably going to be a hearing this week in State Affairs, House State Affairs, for House Bill 525. And we've had some people from around Idaho writing to our legislators that are on State Affairs, or the House members, asking them to oppose 525. We oppose 525. 525 is an unacceptable bill. Let's look at what 525 does first. Let's look at what the legislators who are sponsoring the bill are saying about the bill so that we can prove that they're not telling the truth about 525 and that 525 should be killed in committee. It should not pass the Idaho House of Representatives. 525 adds 4 new sections to Idaho Code. Right now, if you do a search on the Idaho legislature's website of all of Idaho statutes, look to see anywhere if cities, counties, public health districts are allowed to use your taxpayer dollars to pay to kill some children in abortion. And right now you will find out there's only one section of code in the entirety of Idaho law, the entirety of Idaho Code. Idaho Code are the statutes that have been passed by our legislature over the years and signed by the governor, whoever it was at the time, and that is our body of Idaho law. Right now there's only one section. I'll show it to you on the screen. It's 56-209C, and you'll note that 56-209C is a prohibition of using Idaho Department of Health and Welfare money. That is one department in Idaho state government. They may not use their funds, however they get their funds, to pay for abortions unless the children that are being killed in abortion are conceived in rape and incest. Now that is a bad law. That is an unconstitutional law. It is an ungodly law. So this new bill does not talk about Idaho Department of Health and Welfare money. It talks about county public funds. It talks about city public funds. It talks about public health districts. And it talks about any other state fund other than the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare. It adds 4 new sections of Idaho Code to our body of Idaho law. And I'm going to just take one as an example and read it to you. So the 4 sections are related to counties, cities, public health districts in the state. The first one is section 31-1614. So this is a new section that would be added by House Bill 525. It says that a county government shall be prohibited from expending or in any way transferring funds to any individual or organization that is a provider of abortion. Okay, that would be fine. I wouldn't be sitting here having this video today if that's all they were doing. But the problem is, note subsection 2, it says the prohibition in subsection 1 of this section shall not apply to abortions eligible for public funding under circumstances where the abortion is necessary to save the life of the woman or in cases of rape or incest. So what that just said is that now puts where Idaho Code currently is silent and doesn't say anything to counties, that now tells counties that they can use any public funding, no matter the source of the money, whether it's property taxes or any other money that they get in, they can use it to pay to kill children conceived in rape and incest. In utero, preborn children can be aborted because their father is a criminal, and the counties can use your property tax to pay for that. That's what House Bill 525 does. Right now, Idaho law does not say that the counties can do that. When House Bill 525, if it passed, now the counties know they can do that. Cities is the next section of the bill. Section 50-1050, it says the same things for cities as it said about counties. It said that cities can now use any public funds to pay to kill children whose fathers are criminals or whose fathers conceive them in an incestuous relationship. Now, that is why we oppose House Bill 525. Right now, Idaho Code is silent. This is a bad bill because it is an unconstitutional law, and if you ask the sponsors of the bill, they know this is unconstitutional. There were some people that wrote to Representative Christy Zito and said, we don't support House Bill 525, we oppose it. And she said that House Bill 525 will not do what you are saying. She says the exceptions in this bill exist in code. There's nowhere in code presently where cities and counties can use taxpayer money to pay to kill children that were conceived in rape and incest. There's only that one section, 56209C, that says that the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare may do that, which of course is a bad law. So it doesn't exist currently in code. This will be a new authorization to pay to kill children that will be added to code. Then she says, we have carefully crafted this bill to save over 1,200 babies in the state of Idaho each and every year. Now in 2017, the last year that we have numbers for abortions in the state of Idaho, there were 1,285 children murdered by abortion in the state of Idaho. How is a bill that prohibits public money from being used to pay for some abortions by counties, cities, and public health districts going to save 1,200 of the 1,285 babies that are currently being murdered in the state of Idaho every year? How is that even possible? Because if you know anything about abortion, most people privately fund their own abortions. In fact, Planned Parenthood has a fund where they raise money for people who can't afford to pay for their own abortions. Money's not the problem. The problem is that we have legalized murder in Idaho Code. And so when murder is legal, people go and they find ways to pay for murder. Now, whether they can get your county or city government to pay for the murder, or whether they can get their friend to pay for their murder, their boyfriend to pay for the murder, or their mother to pay for the murder, this bill is not going to stop any of these murders. This is the continual hope of all pro-lifers, is that we're going to do something to stop these murders. There's only one way to end legal murder, and that's to actually outlaw legal murder in your state and then prosecute it as murder. That's the only thing that's going to actually end legal murder in the state of Idaho. Now, we also want to say one more thing about House Bill 525. The reason they have this exception for rape and incest, like that the counties and cities are now going to be able to use your sales taxes and property taxes to pay to kill certain children, is because they're bowing down to courts. They're saying that the courts somewhere, and I think there's an Idaho District Court case they're referring to, that says that that you can not prohibit taxpayer money from paying for rape to kill rape conceived children. Well, again, this is the age-long problem. This is why we have 1,285 children murdered every year by abortion, is because a court tyrant said that we had to allow them to, and instead of developing a spine of steel in our legislature, we've capitulated to the tyrant. You can either appease the tyrant or you can oppose the tyrant. House Bill 525 is yet another example of a bill that appeases tyrants. And it's not constitutional, and appeasing the tyrant is going to do nothing to enact justice in Idaho law. It's going to do nothing to enact equal rights. In fact, what it does by capitulating to the courts, it's telling the courts that we recognize your tyrant authority, and that we know that we can only fashion our laws to meet your tyrant acceptance. That's only going to delay the ultimate abolition of abortion. So we oppose House Bill 525 for two reasons. Number one is it does authorize, where Idaho Code is currently silent, your taxpayer money, whether it's income tax, sales tax, property tax, or any other public funds, to be used to execute children, give them the death penalty, capital punishment because their father is a criminal. And it also capitulates to the courts even yet again, so that we are farther and farther away from the day when the legislature realizes that we should not be bowing down and hiding behind the skirts of court tyrants, that we as a state, a sovereign state, have the right to defy tyrants and to enact justice, equal protection, equal rights under law. That bill is available before them. It's HB 361. It's the Abortion Human Rights Act. Please support that and oppose House Bill 525.